What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I am actually doing a Christmas special video, so Merry Christmas to everyone. This one is going to be on Project Cars 2 in the snow around Brands Hatch in F1 cars. So yeah, this is actually going to be with online players in a league. So this is people from the Relentless Racing League, so make sure to check them out. It's a very fun race. I've actually already recorded it. This is a after post-recorded intro. So yeah, I'll just jump straight into it and let you enjoy it. On cars, and it's lights out, and away we go here. And obviously, as you can see, it's a difficult start for everyone. Mainly because I immediately spin into the barrier on the start because of the wheel spin. As you see, obviously we got ice tyres for obvious reasons. And I come down here again and spin immediately again. I forgot my first number one rule in practice, which was go in a high gear, usually third or fourth. I immediately flip up to third now, start getting on with it, and there we go, up to, well, down to last I should say, so not ideal, out of 9 people, completely dead last. So I just got to try and capitalise on this anyway. So terrible start, got a bit of a gap, but a lot of people struggled in practice and in qualifying. So yeah, I tried to remember that and keep going. As you can see, Nathan there going completely off track, so that wasn't a correct line completely from him. But yeah, still at this point I was still showing that I had no pace whatsoever, but immediately flipped up to fourth here, and as you see, it was working very nicely for me, and I did manage to actually try and capitalise very nicely down the straight. I actually did something very dangerous, which was try and use curves down here, which was not probably a good idea, but I just avoided that guy there who had spun off on the straight. That's how bad it is, you spin off on a straight. Just caught the car there. You've got to do a minimal movement on the wheel. Sounds strange to say that, but you do. That's the way you do it. And I found the tyres actually work better once they've cooled down a bit. At the moment they're kind of at temperature because they've been in tyre blankets, but I make a very rash move, or try to, down the inside there, lose all grip. Which is very dangerous, but to manage to keep it. As someone spins off there, takes off a bit, and that's me up to 5th place at the moment. So yeah, I'm not going to complain about that one at all. I just took it very easy, and I started off the lap in completely last, and now I'm up to P5, so can't complain whatsoever. Now I've got to try and catch down, well, Alistar, which is the F2 champion in RRL, or Relentless Racing League, so he has got a bit of talent, but as you can see, he's struggling for grip a lot down the straight, whereas I'm actually seeming pretty comfortable right now. So yeah, it seemed like I had a terrible start, but I'm sort of getting into the grip now of these slippery conditions, and I'm going full P4 right now. Kind of a gap between him and P3, but as you see, he goes completely off wide here, but so do I. I actually go off completely wide, hit the barrier a bit there, which is not ideal. Luckily, we haven't got damage on, so thankfully for that. But Alistar is going all over the place as I completely lose the back end there and spin off. And you know why that is? It's because I was in 3rd gear, so I've immediately flipped to 4th. But I flipped down to 3rd again, down to 2nd, try and get the revs back up a bit, which is quite risky, but I had no other choice, so I just had to go for it. And coming around here, up the hill section towards the straight downhill section, this is where I took a massive risk again. As you can see, he's struggling down the straight, and I turn around and just enable curves again to just get so much speed, which was very dangerous. And I actually flipped up to 6th here, was going to flip up to 7th just before he completely lost it, and I'm actually just dive straight down the inside of him, luckily make the moves nicely, back down to 4th then. So we're up to P4 now, which is very nice, starting from last on the grid. I will take it any day. Now let's try and make this an even better result and try and go catch down P3 and get a podium here. I feel quite comfortable to try and get a P2 at least, not gonna lie, which sounds strange, but I just feel like I could. But it was still a long way to go from home yet. Obviously 10 laps this race was. I was just taking it nice and slow. I actually went off track there. I don't really know what I was doing. I think I was trying to get grip and cool the tyres down, because like I said, I prefer cooler tyres. Completely lost the back end there, luckily caught it. As you see, it's a massive struggle, and I actually don't have traction on, so yeah, it's a lot more of a struggle compared to last year. As you know, some of you know that I did this last year with Formula Renault cars, and it was super difficult. but that's when I had traction control on. This time I have it off, as you can see, because I'm sliding around all over the place. Down to the hairpin, I found it best if you flip down to third, but you've got to be very careful, because like I said, as soon as you go down gears, it just messes up completely for you. So as soon as I get out of here, I try and flip up to fourth again, but I actually forgot to, and that's why I was losing all the traction. And then as soon as I turn it to fourth, boom, back to safety a bit. Still not completely safe, it's still risky and very dangerous, but much better than before, which is very nice. So I was just trying to take it easy around here, trying to catch up with P3, but at the moment I was struggling a lot, but P3 was 2, so I wasn't the only one here to have problems, and you know, as you saw from there, but there is P3 up the road there, so we are catching down very nicely to try and claim a podium in this snow race. And as I see here, P3 has actually spun off, and I just take my way, cruise past him very nicely for a podium position. So yeah, I just had to keep pushing on though, because like I said, my pace in qualifying showed that I could get P2, but it's a bit of a long shot because he is up the road a bit. But I just had to stop with the mistakes, carry on nicely, and try and maybe get a good laps in. And I did actually try and get some good hot laps in and show how slow it is, and how slow you have to go to actually get good laps here. And this is where it gets interesting, because now I start gear shifting up, and I do see P2 there spun in the barrier, and that is P2 that I've got right there. So yeah, very nice result. Just after a couple laps, I am up to P2 and en route to finish P2 just before I nearly spin, but luckily catch it. So yeah, just got to keep the consistency up and try and keep nice speed up without crashing now. So yeah, I'm just going to watch a bit from trackside camera. So as you see, the car is completely covered in snow. I'm just taking it very easy as I start at 4 now. And yeah, it was at this point the tyres were at a very nice temperature. They were pretty cold, which I found was actually the best temp. It's better when they're colder, the ice tyres. I don't know why, they just seem to work better compared to when they're warmer. But if they get too cold, that's when it becomes a problem, because then it just becomes really terrible, even worse than what it is when they're warm. But yeah, a very nice lap coming on here then with the trackside camera, as you can see. Just taking it very nice and easy in P2. Obviously, I've done all the hard work of flying up the grid. I knew I wasn't going to get P1 because Brindy Boy was just quick, all practice, all qualifying. So I knew I wasn't going to get him, but I was going to try and at least finish P2 as high up as I could. And this is basically the highest I could finish as I drive around in the, well, the Marussia lookalike, as you can see. Well, you can't even tell because of all the snow that's on it. But yeah, just take it very nice and easy. It just shows how slow it is, how you have to just tiptoe around the track. That's the key, and that's what Brindy Boy found as well. He was just tiptoeing around the track. That's why he did so well. But he seemed to find it more grip, like around the corners and on the straights, and managed to push a bit more than me. But I just did not feel confident with doing that. But I feel like I did very well with just my pace and just tiptoeing around, compared to everyone else who were trying to accelerate a bit more and spinning out, which was the key that I found, as you saw when I just overtook everyone. But yeah, just had to take it very nicely, which I was, and just keep this pace up and hope for the best, and hopefully maybe I can try and keep up as I'm about to lap this car here as you go straight off into the barrier. But yeah, very nice pace. So just coming around the final corner then to start my final lap. I struggled a lot at this point because the tyres were super cold. I actually did a pretty terrible job in this stint, keeping them at a temperature where it's sort of cold but not too cold. Like I said, when they're cold they're at their best, but when they get really cold, that's when they just get terrible again. And well, I was at that point pretty much, and as you can tell, Brindy Boy, well, I can't see him in sight. He is actually completely around the track compared to me. So this is where it got kind of interesting, because there was like 40 seconds left in the race, because Brindy Boy obviously crossed the line ages ago. So that was a massive problem coming into the final lap, and I was like, if I don't finish this, I'm going to DNF, which is not good at all. So I was trying to get the acceleration down, get the power down as much as possible, even when I was just 6th gear there, which was a massive risk. Flip back down to 4th, and I was coming around the final corner. I could just not find the traction to put down the floor. As you can see, I was just losing the back end. I thought, screw it, we should have to go for it. I hit the curves open. I was sliding all over the place. I was like, no, just come on, a little bit more power. Completely lost the back end, but crossed the line, just finishing with 2 seconds remaining in P2. So there we go, there's the results then. So P1 was Brindy Boy, P2 was me, P3 was Hitman, P4 was Sim Racing, P5 was Alistar, P6 was Josh, P7 was Devon Weston, P8 was Francis, and P9 was UKIP, who retired sadly. But yeah, very interesting race, but I'm going to leave this video here. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like and subscribe. But thanks for watching, and goodbye.